And yes, where am I coming from? I think he kept mentioning about story. And I think the very specific story he's looking for is a story of how God restored me and healed me from depression and suicidal thoughts. Yes. So he mentioned of the first time he heard about my story. I had been with a few friends for like 2 years, because I think I remember I shared it first. It was New Year's Eve of 2018. That was my first time sharing.
In that room, I was there.
Yeah, but no one had heard that. Wow. No one knew about it. It was actually my first time admitting it and saying it to other people.
Wow.
You are beating people in championships of debates, but you can't form words for what is going on in your life. You sit in front of a doctor and you're just looking at the doctor as like, I don't know.
I don't have.
When you get arguments and points for every point someone throws at you in a debate, now there's that conflict internal of like, how dare you?
I know.
Now I move from being confused to now beating myself up, right? Now, like, I feel like it's my fault, everything that is good. I feel like I'm failing myself. Now it didn't help the boat that was already sinking. It just dropped it down completely. And now, like, I'm so sad in my life. Like, the pain is too much in my heart. And I haven't told anybody. Anybody. Mind you, it's not that I don't have people. I have people. God has one of the gifts I have in my life is people. I had people, but I didn't know. I also didn't know how to go to these people and tell them, right? And then now, like, the pain is too much. Now it got to a point. Now I know I didn't know that time. It took my voice away.
Welcome back to Christ Represented Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Mukristo. Remember, we represent Christ in everything that we are doing. Let's do it. Hello, my dear friends. I am your host, Eric Mukristo, and I want to welcome you back to Christ Represented Podcast. Listen, I'm so much encouraged by your comments and by the love that you're showing. Sometimes we do things and we get what we don't expect. And thank you so much for the amazing comments. Thank you so much for the stories of how this podcast is contributing to your life, and also it is helping you to change a lot of things here and there in your life. And this is another episode, and we are going to be having an amazing conversation with our guest today. But before I welcome her, I really want to again remind you the reason why we are doing this. We are doing this because there is a level of freedom that we want to attain. And at the beginning of this year, the word freedom has really been a focal foundation of everything that I am doing. And I always ask myself this question: how can we attain a certain level of freedom? How can we heal from our past? And if you have really been following us, we've been talking about our past, sharing stories. We've been inviting people to share a part of their past and what they went through, mostly the painful stories that they really have. And coming here, I was really imagining and asking myself, why freedom? Why do we have to attain freedom? Why do we need to be free? And this reminds me a verse in the Bible that says, whosoever the Son of God sets free, they are free indeed. And again, I'm like, why people are not free? And how can they really attain freedom? And now freedom has really been a theme of what we've been doing here. Not necessarily mentioning a word freedom, but when you follow the stories of our guests here, freedom is the language that we are speaking here. And I just want to ask you a question. Have you attained that level of freedom, or are you free in everything that you're doing? And in the most stories that we have been hearing from our guests again, some were struggling with unforgiveness, and others were struggling with rejection and identity, struggling with a lot of stuff in their past. And I kept reflecting and asking myself, how do you respond if you are rejected, maybe from your family? If you're rejected and you're struggling with your identity, you're struggling with unforgiveness, always a human being is looking for a place of hiding, a place of refuge. And where can I get satisfaction? How can I really be free, or how can I be happy? Because you are created to live a joyful life. But when you have stuff, when you are going through a lot, you are looking for that joy in everything. And the response to some people is, a lot go to masturbation, a lot go to sexual immorality, a lot go to alcohol, a lot start drugging themselves, they start taking drugs, and a lot start masturbating, a lot go to pornography, and all those become the struggles and even the addictions that we struggle with. And what we are sharing here, we keep it real, and many actually others start trying to commit suicide. How about that? And the visitors or the guests that we have in this podcast and this season, we've been talking about how should we embrace our past and learn from our past. Yes, it is part of who we are, and to some of us have attained this level of freedom. I talk about 10 years, and for the past 10 years I've never gone back to weed. For the past 10 years I've never watched porn again. For the past 10 years I've never masturbated again. For the past 10 years I've never tasted alcohol again. But that is where most of us find refuge. That is where most of us are hiding. And we just want to ask ourselves, what else can be true? What is another life that can I ever taste, and my life is never the same? And if you're struggling with a list of what I've already highlighted, I just want to tell you that freedom is real. Freedom is real. And freedom is living a life that is not bound, that is not chained to any of those stuff that I've listed. Maybe you're struggling, and whenever you are hearing a conversation like this one, the very first thing that a human being does is resistance. You want to resist because it is talking about maybe what you struggle with, and you don't want to come out of that. I'm not really coming from a place of judging, but I just want to remind you that you need freedom. Maybe you need freedom from sexual immorality. You need freedom from alcoholism. You need freedom from pornography. You need freedom from masturbation. And you've been asking yourself this question: how can I be free? Maybe you're struggling with suicidal thoughts. How can I be free from this? And that's what we share, and that's what we are doing in our podcast in this season. And of course, we'll be talking about different things here and there in different aspects of life. But now in this season, we want you to be free. We want you to be free. What are you struggling with? And today, I am hyped. Today, I have my sister who is here. Hello, sis.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Are you ready for this?
I think I am.
Okay, so you have an amazing story. And before we dive into your story, I just want you say hi and let people know who you are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Giselle Rwaka Umupfasoni. I am a Rwandan. Mm-hmm. I am a Christian, a lover of God. And I think that's all.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a friend to Mokristo.
Yes. Do you remember the first time we connected? Do you remember, how long have we been friends?
Yeah, I remember, but I don't remember the very day we met. Mm-hmm. We connected per se, because we met in Yim, definitely, but I think it's 2016.
2016, yeah.
Yes, in the Vision Conference.
It's been 9 years now.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You've really been an amazing friend.
Thank you. You've been too.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
and I was like, now imagine what happened in 9 years, we can't really finish it all here.
No, we can't.
It's really,
I hope you're not aiming for that as well.
imagine 9 years
Yeah.
of friendship. I am
Yes.
super proud of the woman you are and the woman you're becoming. You are very strategic. You are very, very serious with life. You're not joking, and I've really seen your growth. And I remember the very first time you shared your story, I was like, oh my goodness, how possible would someone, a young girl, go through what you went through? And I was like, I have to have you over and share your story with a lot of people outside here. And I do believe that your story is just amazing. And there is a young lady outside there who might be going through what you went through. And are you ready to share with our audience your story? And I can't really wait. I can't wait. Sometimes, it feels like self-exposing. You're exposing yourself and you're letting the world know what you struggled with. But at the end of the day, when you help one individual to heal, I feel that is what you're called to do. So I really thank God for your story, and I can't really wait to have you share with our audience what God has done in your life. So again, you told us your name, and I told you that you've really been an amazing friend for the past 9 years, and we are looking forward for more years to come.
Yes,
and there is
amen.
nothing as good as seeing someone growing, like someone is not stuck, and the first part of our discussion here, we just keep it fun, and you're going to share with us how your week has been for you, and you're going to give us some highlights of your week. We are already in the weekend, and what are some of of the things that you've done in this week, and you'd want to share.
My week has been good. The week started a bit off because we had a public holiday, so you were not sure which day it was, but I'm grateful. It was productive, work-wise, school-wise. I'm a student.
Wow, how about that?
Yes. So I'm grateful for God's mercies every day. Yeah.
If you had one word to describe your week, what would that be?
Interesting. No, that's not the word.
Yeah. I was like,
But yes,
okay. That's so quick, yeah.
Let me go with productive.
Productive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me go
that's
with
really
productive.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So how is work?
Work is good. We thank God.
Amen.
Yes.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
So my next question is okay, so I just want to paint a picture, and you're going to tell me which you prefer.
Okay.
So there is a setting of a lot of people. Maybe you've gone out. Would you prefer to be where there is a lot of people, or you just prefer being alone? Not lonely, but you are alone. Maybe you love cheering around with a lot of people, and they really entertain you, or you just wanna be, there alone, and which is which? Like, what do you like most?
I'm the kind of person who likes seeing people from afar.
Whoa,
Yes.
I know.
Especially if people are happy, people are having a good time. They're just living life. Yeah. I'm not the kind to get involved, but to look from afar.
You just want to put a distance.
Yes,
and
if I can
you wanna enjoy
choose
from
any
a
day,
distance.
I'll choose to just look from the behind the scenes or somewhere for where I'm watching the people.
I know.
Yeah.
And so, movies or books?
Books, you know that.
What is your favorite book so far?
That's a good question. Hey, Jesus.
Not the one you're reading currently,
Yes.
but the book that has really contributed a lot to your growth or to your life generally.
Okay. Oh my, there's so many books. Purpose-driven life has to be one of the key elements because of the time it came in my life.
Wow.
But there's so many. But let me pick this one. There's a book I read last year. It's a bundle of 6 books. It's called Wow Man.
What?
woman.
Uh-huh.
So it's basically being a wow version of yourself as a woman.
Wow.
Written by Pastor Mildred Okonkwo from Nigeria. So it talks about different elements of a woman, being a wife, being a mother, being a good steward of your finances, your ministry or ordination, and then nurturing, raising kids, and and being you as a woman first, and then a wife, all of that. So it was a bundle of 6 elements that makes you a wow version of yourself. So yeah, I would say by far, as a woman, that has been the best book I could get hands on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
That might be an amazing book.
Yes.
Would you recommend it to
highly,
ladies,
especially ladies? Please, if you
wow.
can get it, get it. It's one of the best books that can help you as a woman.
So there is a list of books that I read every year, and I think I started reading these books from 2020. The one of them is Disciplines of a Godly Man. And there is also a version of Ladies, but that book has really, really contributed a lot to my manhood, masculinity, and also teaching me the responsibilities of a man. And again, the purpose-driven life. That book has really helped me to forgive. I was struggling with unforgiveness. And I remember sitting in a library and I was reading, and I remember Rick Warren saying, if you have something to sort with a family member or a friend or a colleague, stop right now, grab your phone, give them a call and tell them that you're forgiven them. I was like, you might be kidding. You might be kidding. I will do everything else you're saying, bad, forgiveness. I think I still have to hold on to this. And I really read that book every single year just to keep, getting encouraged. You know, those books are really, really an amazing one. That have really contributed a lot to my growth, and it's just amazing. So eating from home or restaurants?
Home. I'm a home buddy.
Why?
I'm a home buddy. Anything that is home. Anything that is home is good for me. I don't care. As long as it's home, it's good.
Yeah, to give you.
Oh my. I'm not so particular when it comes to gifts. Anything someone wants to give me.
Really? You will tell them, you know what, just give me anything.
Yeah, anything that comes to your heart.
But if they insist and said, we just want to give you something that you like, tell us exactly what you want us to give you. What would that be?
It would be a book or a journal.
Wow.
Yeah, because those are the things I keep long. Either a book or a journal.
Wow, that is amazing. I'll give you a gift of a book.
Thank you. You've already given me one.
But yes, again, I'll give you another one.
Thank you.
Because, I love books, and it's so hard for me to give away a book. But by the moment I have given someone a book, I'm like, this person should really be a reader. So thank you so very much. So, Angie, that is part of who you are.
Yes,
and
it is.
I know you love books. So we want you to share our story and your story rather. And I'm being tempted to ask you, who's Angie and where are you coming from?
Okay, let me just put out a disclaimer. The reason why you'll hear Mukristu keep saying Auntie G, at my workplace, we have some young people and they have nicknamed me Auntie G. So that's why you hear him.
I kept saying it. I am
saying that. So, but it's okay. It's okay. I think it's also a grace of God. So we are grateful for that. Yes. Yeah.
So answer my question, like, where are you coming from, and would you go ahead and share, your past, where are you coming from, what is your story, we want to hear that one.
Thank you for having me again, and thank you for this platform. The Bible tells us that the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. And over the years I've come to discover that some of the things that the devil really steals, and he steals them while we're not aware that he's stealing them.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's easy when you kill something and it goes, right?
Wow.
But usually when something has been stolen, the devil doesn't just come like you can steal your phone, right? He's strategic in how he steals things.
Okay.
Like he takes away slow
Okay.
until we get the whole thing. And I've come to realize that some of the big things that the devil really targets to steal is our freedom and our identity.
Come on.
And that's where lies our power as God's children.
Yeah.
So this is a good platform
Oh, thank you.
for people to be reminded
Thank you.
of what God has given them, what is theirs,
Okay.
their inheritance, so that they can reclaim it.
Wow.
The good thing is that if it's stolen by the devil, you can always get it back because he doesn't have power.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So it's good to have spaces that remind people.
Yeah,
and
that's what we are here
and
for.
God created us so that we can live in freedom. And that's why he even sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die for us so that we
Yeah.
can be set free.
Yeah.
When you are free, you have freedom.
I'm telling you.
I think also Africans understand that more. That's why we fought for our independence,
I know.
and we wanted a level of freedom. And human beings, naturally, we are always seeking for that freedom. Yes, granted, sometimes we can look for it in wrong ways, but freedom is something that we need.
Yes.
And we were given it in the first place.
Yes.
So it's good to have these conversations, and
Wow.
I'm humbled that
Wow. Thank you for honoring our
I'm on this
invitation.
platform. Yes. So you asked, where do I come from?
Yeah.
That's a broad question,
I'm
but
telling you.
I'm one of the people who have seen God set free, who has seen God restore my freedom, who has seen God restore my identity, redefine, and remind me of who I am and who He has called me to be. Because the truth is that no one, irrespective of your circumstances, no one is here by accident.
Yeah.
If you find yourself on planet Earth, you have to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be here.
And there is a reason why you're here.
Yes. It's not by accident. Yes, granted, sometimes circumstances makes it look like we are accidents, but we are not.
We are not at all.
We are not. And in the few years I've lived on Earth, God has been gracious to show me
Yeah.
a few things about why I'm here.
Yeah.
It didn't come on a silver platter, like it didn't come easy. But I'm grateful that eventually I got to understand personally that I'm here for a purpose.
Yeah.
God has a reason. He created me specifically.
Yeah.
There's a uniqueness that I bring in this world, and He wants me to live it.
Yeah.
So that He can better the world and humanity. And yes, where am I coming from? I think he kept mentioning about story. And I think the very specific story he's looking for is a story of how God restored me and healed me from depression and suicidal thoughts. Yes. So he mentioned of that first time he heard about my story. I had been with a few friends for like 2 years, because I think I remember I shared it first. It was New Year's Eve of 2018. That was my first time sharing.
In that room, I was there.
Yeah. But no one had heard that. No one knew about it. It was actually my first time admitting it and saying it to other people. So I didn't look like what I had been through, and I'm grateful to God for that. that he is a God who can hide certain things.
Like everyone was shocked.
Yes, people were shocked.
What?
Because naturally, when you see me, I like to have a smile on my face most times. And I like to bring joy to people. And I also like to have joy in my heart. I pray for it all the time. So I had the smile, so people didn't see what was behind the smile, and they never saw it. So it happened just that we were in a moment, and then I felt prompted to share the story, but it was more of being grateful. So to cut the story short, I grew up in a very good family, very loving Christian family, close, best parents I could ever ask. Shout out to my dad and my mom, and 2 amazing brothers that I love so much. So I grew up with a no more well-grounded, I believe, as God intended from the beginning, how a family should be. And then we were shielded. Now that I'm grown, when I look back, I think we were shielded from a lot of things, not as a way of like putting us in a bubble, but there are certain things that I think my parents made an intentional choice of not exposing us to, just to protect us. And I'm grateful for that. So I wasn't, I wasn't exposed to a lot of things per se, but I had many people. And I was a very happy child. I was a very happy child. I loved people growing up. I was just a people person. I wanted to interact with everyone, check on everyone. Yes. And playful at school, at home, very active, dynamic, very inquisitive, asking a lot of questions, sometimes getting in troubles for that. But we always do, especially in Africa. Yes, but so grew up like a normal kid. But one of the things that now when I look back, I see as a blessing that we lose people die, but it's something that in my upbringing, especially in my early ages, God really gave us a blessing of not losing many people. So I was born, when I was born, my grandparents were not around. The last one died, I think, when I was like 1.5 or 2. So I don't really even have a memory of her. So, because when we were kids, most people would say, oh, my grandfather or my grandmom died. Me, I didn't have that. So I was shielded from that kind of reality of life. I didn't really get to that. Yes, you would hear people died, friends who lost people, but directly, like close to home, it wasn't really like that. Of course, a few people died, but I never went to a funeral or a burial. I didn't know. I would just hear it in stories. And then, fast forward, my mom, it came close home. And then I lost my mom in 2013. And then it was something that I had not ever imagined it happening. We would talk, we would have conversation. Yes, she battled cancer for a long time. But it never occurred to me that it would take her away. It never occurred to me. And when we used to talk, she was a very hopeful woman that you would not, like, she didn't also, like, show us, maybe because we were even very young, that she would sometime go. She was very hopeful, telling you things. This is what I wanted to do. I remember in our last conversation, she was like, yes, you can do this and this, and then you can do that in A-level, because I was in O-level at that time. When you go to school, you can do this, and then, sharing plans of life, But then all of a sudden the reality comes. Her health kept deteriorating. At that time, the cancer treatments were not as advanced as they are today in the country. It was still something new, and most times at that time people used to go even abroad, but today people they can follow all their treatments from the country. Grateful for that also as a development of the nation. But yes, so April 2013, my mom passes. I'm in senior 3. Wow. We all know senior 3, those who are in Rwanda, close to national exams, and everything in my life is like, there's a reality that you have to deal with, but then you don't know how to deal with it. But I think I just ignored it and focused on the national exam. But I remember even throughout the funeral days and whatever it was during the holiday, it wasn't really sinking like that. 1 minute it will come, the next minute, did she really? Or maybe she's going to come back, right? It wasn't really hitting until the day I remember I went to school. We went back to school, and then we were in the assembly, the very first assembly of the term, and the headmistress announced that. And now all the people who didn't even know, she just said someone.
Was she connected to the family somehow, or?
She knew about it, those kind of things are the things the family is informed. And then, so she talked about it. She said, one of us lost her mom during the holiday. And that's when the reality hit me. I'm like, so like from now on, I'm going to be identified as, right? But then again, I think I was too young to understand that, but it really hit that day. I remember that it really hit, and I remember crying. But everyone now comes, sorry. Even the people who didn't know you, now they want to know. They come in a street, they're like, who's that child? Like all that attention, and it hits you for a moment, but then you snap out of it and go on with life. My focus was like, one of the wishes my mom had was that I can pass my national exam so that I can go in the school she wished that I could go in for my A level. So I just put my mind to that. By the grace of God, I did pass the exam. Don't know how it happened, but it did happen. And then I went to A level and all of that. But then now, fast forward, I'm in S4. God has a sense of humor, people. And then I'm in a new school, and then I find myself with friends. Most of them, not all of them, they don't have their fathers. They've lost their fathers. They have their mothers only. And here I am, the only person who has lost my mom, and I have my dad, and most of them it had been a while. It wasn't as fresh as mine was. So for them, they were at that stage of grieving where having conversations about that was a bit okay for them. Whereas for me, I hadn't had conversations about it. I was still in the denial phase, where one day it hits that yes, you've lost a person. Another day it's like, maybe there's somewhere they'll come back, But that's when it triggered everything. It snapped me out of the denial. VD comes, people come to visit, and then you see mothers coming. And then my mom was a very present mom who would come visit you. It doesn't matter how far you are in school, she would come visit you. Even when she was really sick, she would try her best and come, of course, with my dad. So now it hits that, maybe if she didn't come, if she didn't come this month because maybe she was under treatment and it was serious, you knew that the next month she would come. and she would give you that promise. But now you get to a point where it's like there's no looking forward to her coming
there is that
anytime.
reality of like, no, she's not going to make
Yes.
it
Yeah.
anymore.
There's like she's not,
Wow.
and she's never going to come again. Not for VD, not for anything again in your life.
No more. She's not there.
And then it hit me because I saw my friends, shout out that to them, who had like that relationship, and it started hitting me that I would never have that kind of relationship ever. Like there was no chance of getting that. And I think I don't know if it was for me only. My mom left when I was at a stage in my life where I loved having a relationship with my mom.
Wow.
And I think it happens to many girls. Like there's a stage you get to in your life and you want to be a friend to your mom. Like your mom becomes your friend.
True.
So I had gotten to that stage and we started to build a really, really amazing relationship. But then she went. And then it started hitting me when I saw my friends that I would never get this. Like it's gone.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then that's when the reality started hitting me. And then you know how when you start a new school and new term in S4, there are forms you fear, right? And then I had to take motherless. And then I was like, when did I become this? You know, the former school I was at, I started when my mom was there. So everything had there was more, but now this is a new school I'm in. I have to introduce myself. And then you have to do that, and it also hit. Now, I didn't know that all of those things were the things that were triggering facing my reality that I had avoided for a moment. Now, people deal with loss and grief differently, and I didn't know better at that time. Again, like I said previously, I had been shielded from that world, so it was something that was very far-fetched for me. So I didn't know how to do it. So the only thing which came natural was the sadness, the sorrow of that. And it consumed me.
You started identifying yourself, like that.
Yes.
That
I started, and then I started seeing myself as that. Because now there were many things that were hitting to show me the reality. And now, unconsciously, I don't think I did it consciously, I started embracing that as if that was all of me now. This was me before, but now this is me.
This
a
is
motherless child
know.
Who will never have that motherly love, who's always going to have a void in her life because there's something very precious and very special that is taken away from her life. And that's the life I kept living from that time on. But it was not a good life, right? Like a life of always seeing what is not there is not a good life. So there comes sadness. There comes like losing track of everything in life. Because now you're like, she wanted me to be in a level, but now she's normal. What's the point, right?
Why am I doing all of this?
We were always talking about these things and these things. She's normal. What's the point, right? And you kind of like disregard everything else that makes sense in life and just focus because now you are focused on only the negative. And there are negatives in this world.
True.
There are bad things. If you choose to focus on those, oh boy, will you see a lot of them?
True.
Yes, there's a lot of them. So I got consumed by that. And I didn't know when I sank deep into that river. I didn't. It was like I told you, the way the devil steals, he doesn't just come and grab once. Just slow, and then eventually you find that you have something that was completely taken away. And when you look back, sometimes it can be hard. Like, when did we get here? All of a sudden I was this joyful child, full of life, very optimistic, very courageous. All of a sudden, I was just, I didn't know. From a very young age, I've always been driven. Like, I know what I want and how I want to do it. And then I know the people who can help me. I was blessed by good parents, like I said. So they've been my biggest role models and advisors for all my life. So I would go with, I've been that child who asks specific questions because I have specific things I'm looking for. But all of a sudden I become this person who doesn't know, should I wake up? Should I not? Should I shower? Should I not? Do I need to go for this class? Do I, like, all of a sudden now I lose sense of life. Like, I don't know what I want anymore. I don't even remember who I am. Right? There's just this heavy thing on you that you don't even know. Like, you can't even put a name to it. But it's something that had come gradually from that 2013, all of that. And now I get into 2015 and I'm so tired. Because again, you have to remember, while all of that is happening, like you all met me, I'm this girl who's always going to have a joy on my face, have a happy face, look like I'm okay and I'm smiling as much as I can. So no one knows. Even those friends of mine, they didn't know that I was being triggered day in, day out. They didn't know. I remember there was a time I asked two of my best friends, they know themselves, they had a good relationship with their mothers, and then I told them, can I borrow your mothers? Because I missed, it was in 2014, around the end, and I missed calling the name mom.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then they said, for them they found it cute.
I know.
But I was trying to find something to hold on to. I was sinking, and I could feel it in me, but I didn't, like, I couldn't describe what was going on. And then I just asked them, because I wanted something that I can hold on to. But also, yes, they'll tell you that, and then you talk to them. Their mothers were amazing, and they're still my lovely moms. Yes, we still are in touch. But still, you go for holiday, you don't go to their places, right? And
the reality kicks in again.
Yes, there's going to be those moments where your reality is going to, you won't wake up and see them at home. Yes. But so I wanted something to at least have a grip of and maybe pick me up from whatever I was feeling like I'm drowning into. But I couldn't. And then it got to 2015. And I think that's when just my spirit and my physical body was just completely done with it. And now I start having signs of things that I didn't know. I have severe headaches that never goes off. And you have to remember that time depression, mental health was not really a thing in the country. Now that's when I think for the past maybe 5-7 years we are seeing it emerge, but at that time it wasn't. So I didn't know. I didn't know. I had not heard of depression before, so I didn't know. But I just had this, and my energy was just all the time low. Focus in class was not there. And then I started struggling. But then I kept fighting through it. I was among the leaders in my school. So now you are this person that people know. You can't afford to let yourself down, right? We are Rwandans, we know that. There's a face you have to keep. There's an image you have to keep. So I had to keep to that, being this confident, well put together. I walk fast. Those who know me in real life, girl, and stay like that so that people don't see that my world is falling apart. But I was not sleeping at night. I was not. I wasn't sleeping at night. I could not sleep. I could not, because after all the day with your fellows, that's when you go to bed, your reality now comes and say, knock knock, I'm here. I haven't left, right?
Welcome back.
In the morning you leave it in the bed, you make your bed, you go to class,
meet a lot of people, and you just have to keep a certain face, you have to smile and also be you, but deep down you're struggling,
but the other bones
is
somewhere
you up.
Yes.
I know.
And then I wasn't sleeping at night. It happened one week. I thought maybe I was tired. It's the second week. Now it started affecting my physical. So this is 2015.
Yes.
It started affecting my physical body. Imagine you haven't slept for 10 days straight. No sleeping. Like no sleeping at all. Yes, you close your eyes but you don't sleep.
You're struggling.
Your brain is just on the go. For 10 days, of course it gets on your body as a physical being, because our bodies were created in a way that we need rest. That's why we have the Sabbath people. Yes. So, but now I start falling sick. Yes, I'm fainting. And now they're trying to see what's the reason. They can't find. They try all the tests. They can't find it. And I can't explain it.
I know.
Because there's no way you're going to tell people you don't sleep. Why?
I know. Why?
Why don't you sleep? Don't you have a bed?
I know.
Right?
You really don't have any way of expressing what you're going through.
You don't. And I didn't have the words for what was going on as well. I didn't. So now I'm just there, and then the doctors are looking at me. They're like, so what have you been feeling? I'm like, I don't know. And if you tell a doctor you don't know, they don't know
really
too.
Don't know how
are they going to help you? So they try what they know in their knowledge. Can help. They try different things. They put you on different medication, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And now I keep thinking even more. Now they gave me sleeping pills. To help me, because I said I struggle with sleeping. I didn't say I haven't slept. I just said I find it hard to sleep. So now they give me sleeping pills, and these sleeping pills, they took even the little energy I had in me away. Like they took it away. Now all the time I'm just off. Like I don't know what. Like I'm just like a. I don't think even a butterfly. Like I'm just like a paper that is being blown by the wind and goes wherever. Like I just don't know. And now this, seeing yourself like that, being this person who's always determined, driven, knows what they want and goes for it. Now all of a sudden you're losing yourself. You can't even express yourself. You can't even express yourself. And now there's also a clash of there's this reality you're living, but there's also this reality that people are seeing. Not a reality, a face
the
that
life,
people are seeing.
The face that the people
I remember back in school, I was in debate, public speaking, like I was on the front. But this is a person, like you're a good speaker, everyone is admiring you in the school, but you can't express what is going on.
Like no one can even believe you, because there is someone they're seeing.
You are beating people in championships of debates, but you can't form words for what is going on in your life. You sit in front of a doctor and you're just looking at the doctor as like, I don't know.
I don't have
when you get arguments and points for every point someone throws at you in a debate, now there's that conflict internal of like, how dare you?
I know.
Now I move from being confused to now beating myself up, right? Now, like, I feel like it's my fault, everything that is going. I feel like I'm failing myself. Now it didn't help the boat that was already sinking. It just dropped it down completely. And now, like, I'm so sad in my life. Like, the pain is too much in my heart. And I haven't told anybody. Anybody. Mind you, it's not that I don't have people. I have people. God has one of the gifts I have in my life is people. I had people, but I didn't know. I also didn't know how to go to these people and tell them, right? And then now, like, the pain is too much.
Yeah.
Now it got to a point. Now I know I didn't know that time. It took my voice away.
Oh, now it is from
2015.
Yeah, now the reality kicks in that my mom is not going to visit me anymore, and you are from a stage of maybe she has gone somewhere and she's coming back, and now to a reality of now she's no more. She's not going to visit me again. I'm not going to see her again. And you started identifying yourself like that, and I don't have my mother. She's no longer in my life. And from that stage, you are like, now I am judging myself. It starts, affecting your body. You start going to hospitals, and you can't articulate exactly what is going on in your life. And from that stage, it is affecting your body, and it is showing. And then from that stage to it, it's me. I am the one, and you are fighting with two realities. There is a person that people are seeing. There is also another one who's struggling to even get sleep, and you are on pills, and they're not even helping. They are killing you even more. Now to a stage where you don't even have a sound. Your voice is gone. Your voice is taken. Oh, what a struggle.
Yeah.
What a struggle.
This podcast is brought by ISMART House, your best podcast agency in Rwanda.
Remember, we represent Christ in everything that we are doing.